So the next step, and this feeds into the general strategy that I'm going to be using for this puzzle, is we're going to put in the edges above a corner, then we're going to put the corner in. So just like what we did here, we're going to do the same thing, only now we have to start dealing with these sides over here, namely these fixed sides, which we didn't really have to deal with before. So let's start off with blue and red. Well, if I have a hard time finding it, it usually means it's right in front of me. Except in this case. Aha, okay, blue and red right over here. So I got to get it all the way from here down to here. So how am I going to do that? Well, it's just a series of moves to bring it down and then make sure I bring back what I brought down. So to put it in line, I'm just going to double turn this here. And then I'm going to double turn that here. And then I'm going to be sure to move this back. And then I just have this over here. And I can actually even turn this back if I wanted to, but let's keep this here for now. And then from here I'm going to take this and move it to here by just the swap strategy here. Bang, 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 bang. And now I can move this center back. Alright, so I made my journey from here to here. I accidentally tossed this guy out, so I'm just going to very quickly put this guy back in. And that may happen from time to time. Put this back in. 1, 2, 3, boom. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so this to here. So how am I going to get this into here? Well, remember I've got this pink one that I have to contend with. So one thing that I could do is actually contend with it by doing a Venus strategy by moving this up here potentially. So what I could do is move this up here and move this over here and then move that in. So in this case it's on the left side. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. So that put that in here. Now I have to be sure just to move things back. Two here, 2 here. Okay, that was awful convoluted, wasn't it? In any case, I have to move this back in here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So this is in place. That was an example of how to make it really convoluted and yet it still worked. So let's see if we can do it another way without moving things out of place quite so much. So here's the red, and we're going to find the red and green one. So here's a red and green one. So I can move this 1, 2. Actually, bring it here, and then move it from here to here. And then move this back. Okay, so I had an ulterior motive to that, because now this is here, ready to come over here. Now how am I going to move this to here? Well, there's one more method of moving it from here to here. We talked about the swapping algorithm, which just moves it down, which we could do. We also talked about the Venus algorithm, which you've seen me do aplenty. And then there's a Rubik's Cube one. But now there's one more that I'm going to illustrate from this. And that's to do the outer edge rotational swapping algorithm that you've seen. It's the one that we rotate, that you saw with the different types of cubes. And what we're going to do with that is by holding it here, this will stay fixed, and we'll rotate the outer edges here as long as you're next to a fixed center. If you're next to a non-fixed center, you're going to rotate the inner ones, as you recall. So if I hold it here, I want to move this in place down over here. But if I move this over here, because I can't do it here, I'm going to end up rotating my inner edges. But if I move this over here, this will stay fixed, and this guy will start rotating until it gets to here. So as you recall, this one is the R, U, R, I, U, R, 3U, 1, 2, 3, R, I. So there that is here, there that is here, move it in, and there it is. So I demonstrated that just to show you the fourth tool that we have in our tool chest. Green and purple. Green and purple, green and purple. Ah, there it is, dark green and purple. So first thing I have to do is move it down. So I'm going to move it here, then go 1, 2, move this back, and now I've got this over here that I want to move over here. So I could move this over here like so. Alright, well, we're up here. I'm just a little afraid of this banded side here. So I'm going to move this down over here like this. Then I'm going to go 1, 2. Move this back up here. 1, 2. Okay, so now I can start to do stuff over here. And why don't I do the same thing? Why don't I just rotate this around until it matches over here? So again, it's the same thing. I'll hold it in this position. I want it to end up here. So I'll turn it like this and go 1, 2, 3, bang. Are they where it needs to be? Nope, I want this to be rotated to here. This is still fine. 2, 3, bang. And there it is. Move it down. And be sure to move these centers back. So I made pretty good use of that strategy. Purple and yellow. So let's see what we can make of that. Where's purple and yellow? Purple and yellow, purple and yellow, purple and yellow. Ah, right here, purple and yellow. Actually, just above where I wanted it. So I need to move this down over here. So what I'm going to do is go like this and just move it across like this. Move this back and move this back. Alright, so I just got it closer, that's all. I'm going to move this over here. Now why don't I just do the swapping algorithm down here, just so that I don't be so convoluted about it. And there it is over here. Just be sure to swap this back. Alright, so I've seen a couple different strategies to get these in. Orange and blue. Oh, right here, orange and blue. So first thing we have to do is get this all the way around, so I'm just going to move it to the top. Move it around a little bit, perhaps to here, move it down, and then I very quickly want to move this back to here, and then move this back to here. Okay, so here's the orange and blue, remembering that I have to eventually move it back up to here. And I'll just move it here, and why don't I just slice it in this way here. That's in, and move this back. Okay. So, using different strategies, we're able to get all of these middle ones in place. Now for the edges here. I'm sorry, for the corners here. How do we get these corners in? Well, we're going to roll them in the same way we did with all the other cubes. It just so happens this one's in place, which is good. When we roll this in, a couple things might seem to happen. We're going to start messing, or appear to be messing this up, but that's going to be easy to get back in. What we want to do is find a place that's far away from these guys, from the edges that are non-bandaged, that are fixed. Because that way we can have a little bit more freedom. So somewhere I would say between these guys. And I want to put my whites over here so that I can roll them in free of trouble. Actually here, or perhaps here. This might even be better. So here's a white one, and what I'm going to do is roll this out so I can start rolling it in. Or it might be easier to show with this guy. I'm going to move this up here, and I'm going to look for the white, blue, and yellow, which is right here. So let's just roll that in and see what happens. Boom, 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 boom. All right, good, that's in. But look, this one got batted out. But remember, I'll just put this back in here. As we did with the Venus cube, this was actually fairly easy to put back in. This can easily rotate in here, but we don't want to destroy this, so we're going to do the Rubik's Cube algorithm. And because we're surrounded by by fixed sides, banded sides, we won't mess anything up. So that'll be Okay, so that's in and that's back in. So this is in position here now. So I want the white, dark green, and red. So I'm going to move that into position here, and I'm going to roll that in. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. This got batted out, but again, we won't worry about that. In place now is the purple and dark green. So let's just ignore this for now. We know we can easily put that in. So here's the purple and dark green, so I'm just going to start doing my thing here. Okay, so there that is. That's rolled in. Let's get our centers back, and so we don't panic, put these back in. So now what do we have left? We have one more white to find, and we might have to make a journey with this one. It's right over here. We do have to make something of a journey. We want to put it over here, so I'm just going to very delicately bring this here and bring it here. Remembering to move everything back that I took out of place. Move this here and put this white one in. And then just start retracing my steps. Bang. Okay, so now I have all the white ones in. In doing it this way, I haven't messed any of these up, but I got to put this yellow and blue back in. But as we've seen, that's easy. It's going to be somewhere in this plane. We put it in by the Rubik's Cube technique. And there it is. So what you have is you have the first part of your first layer. All of the corners and all of the edges down here in place, and all of the edges here are in place.